All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. 365, we making up plays. You talking the game, get you to the days. We're high in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety topics, living the same. All presentation, sports information. In the airways, taking the nation. All sport, all plays, they working your faces. Grace at the field, so tie the laces. All sports, all plays.
Welcome to the All Sports, All Plays Network. I am Ray Crews as Dre Montez. Can't look as cool as Dre, but I got the dreads like Dre, so we're good to go. Got the Tar Heels shirt on, representing our team. We got the Gators outfit on. I hope you enjoyed the first half. We had to take the first half of the show due to the fact that I had a meeting to go off on too, so we're back in the tangents here of college football. The Grace, we're going to finish up. We got over 66 games. We did the first 27 games. We got a lot more to go. We're going to do a rapid fire here in a moment. But I forgot to ask Dre earlier, man, how did you like the college football start of week 0 all the way up through Thursday night? Any major upsets that you thought?
No, that the Florida State game went as expected. The doubling tradition, that was a different way to open up the season. It really was. But overall, I like how they really looked after the fan, the collegiate football fan. They really looked at the fandom of college football, unlike some other municipalities of sports. They really paid attention to the fans, and they have actually given people what they want. So I applaud college football. So far, so good.
Yeah, me too. I think, to me, I don't call that an upset. I think Georgia Tech is better than what people thought they were. I don't think Florida State is as good as people thought they're going to be this coming up season. They did have some couple plays that DJ Ugalea had that was questionable, but overall he played a great game. It's just the defense gave up a lot of runs, and I ain't believing Georgia Tech could do what they did against Florida State's defense, but they wrapped it up. But it's also the first game of the season. A lot of people writing off Florida State already for the college playoffs series,
Right.
But we still got a long ways to go. For one game, it's not really going to hurt you as much
Not
with
anymore.
a 12-game format. So they have a chance to rewrite the ship coming up in there. So I agree. Nothing too much. I think everything went on. I think Carolina it showed me what they were going to be with the quarterback situation. That really hampered the style. But when Max Johnson got injured, he broke his leg. He's out for the season. He had a successful operation yesterday. That's the reports out of Carolina for the injured starting quarterback, Max Johnson, Brad Johnson's son, former Florida State quarterback and Tampa Bay Buccaneer NFL quarterback. So Max Johnson, our prayers out for you. You can get well soon. So his college career is over because he was a senior, unless they try to get a medical hardship.
There's a lot of that going on. We got a couple 7-year college football players this football season.
So that's one thing, the aspect. But to me, I think Carolina's defense is a little bit better than it was last year, but not right there because they did go with some big running plays in that game. NC State showed me some at the end when they started pulling away from Western Carolina. That game was tight all the way up to the fourth quarter when water started went off for NC State. I was a little bit surprised. I thought the quarterback position was going to be a little bit better at NC State, but I think Waters, the addition of the Duke transfer, Waters, who played at Duke, now gone and transferred over from his blue colors to the red colors, enemy territories. So I think that's going to be a little bit of a thing. I think NC State's got a little bit of more improvement to do. I think in a whole, depends on what Georgia Tech and what Clemson does today against Georgia. I think ACC is going to be wide open this year. If Carolina don't get a better quarterback play, and because right now they're going to see that Minnesota game, they're going to probably start stacking the line for Hampton, who is the best player on the team. So they're going to have to stop they'll force the passing game. I don't know how Hurl's going to do it. I think Griswold might get a shot this time. Hopefully he'll do a little bit better than we have at quarterback right now. But you can tell that Drake May, and when he left, that was it for the quarterback position for a while.
Right. I know in years past, one thing I've noticed week 0 about the opportunity all these freshmen are getting as opposed to years past. You know, it took you probably 3 years before that freshman really got on the field that wasn't already a household name in the eyes of Pop Warner football or doing something great in high school. But the opportunity all these freshmen are getting, I applaud college football. So we're seeing the page turn a little bit when it comes to the tradition of college football. The new breed is coming in. If they're buying into the program, it can work right away. Holding a kid back for 2 and 3 years, sometimes it was warranted because of the size and the speed of the game. But now look at these programs these kids are coming from. They're on the collegiate D2 level, some of these high schools these kids are coming from. So I applaud that in week 0 of college football.
Yeah. So let's recap a little bit here. Portland State and Washington. Well, we'll start with Clemson. Go back all the way up to Clemson. Clemson and Georgia, we both picked Georgia to win that one. I picked Penn State. You picked West Virginia. We both got the Iowa over Illinois State. Virginia, we both got Virginia Tech over Vanderbilt. We both picked Maryland. So pretty much we're right on track. The only odds we have in the first one is the Penn State game, the Miami Florida game. I took Miami. You took Florida. The North Dakota game, you took North Dakota. I took the Iowa State team. You took Kennesaw. I took UTSA. So we pretty much on. And then I took Boise State over Georgia Southern. You took Georgia Southern over Boise State.
Okay.
So pretty much we on that save. So now we're going to go back and pick up with rapid fire here. So we can get some down. We got some games till we start to get to our next talking point on the day. So let's get this thing started here, back rolling. Let's get back in this thing so we can finish it up right at 12 o'clock so we can get going to the games.
Right. You're going to split the screen up?
Yeah, especially that Georgia and Clemson game. That's part of the game I'm going to probably put on my TV where I can hear the sound, and the rest of it will be on my other computer screen. So let's get that. Stony Brook and Marshall, who you got?
Give me Marshall. I can't see you, good buddy. I can't see you.
You can't see me?
Nope.
What the frick? You disappeared on me earlier.
No, the screen is just on me. The camera's just on me.
Oh, oops, sorry.
There
we go. Actually, here's the thing. I wanted you to. You should have just didn't say anything. Just move your mouth when I was talking, so everybody thought my voice was coming through you.
That's a little hard to pull off right there. That's what she said early on.
All right. UC Davis versus at California. Who you got?
Give me California.
Yeah, California, the new ACC team. I got them winning their first game as an ACC conference play coming out of the Pac-12. North Texas at South Alabama. Who you got?
Ooh. South Alabama impressed me last year with a couple early. Not saying they won a lot of games, but I like the way they attacked the game in the beginning. I think I'm going to go with South Alabama.
I'm going with South Alabama over North Texas. North Texas didn't do too good for me last year, so I'm going the opposite direction this time with them. All right. Eastern Kentucky at Mississippi State. Downs.
In the words of Daffy Duck, give me Mississippi State.
Yep. Maybe. I'm going to go with that one too. All right. Campbell at Liberty. Who you got?
Liberty.
I got Liberty too.
Liberty Mutual.
All right. Richmond at Virginia.
Cavaliers. Virginia.
Yeah, the Cavaliers, I think, is going to take that one.
Home of the
Norfolk State. Now, get this. Norfolk State goes to East Carolina.
Party school. Pirates.
Yeah.
Jeff
Taking
Blake
the Pirates on that one. Yeah. Idaho State at Oregon State. Who you got?
Say that one more time.
Idaho State and Oregon State.
Give me Oregon State Beavers, please. Give me the Beaver for 200.
Take it down too. All right, let's break this one down. The next game we're going to break down, ladies and gentlemen, is Western Kentucky. Hilltopper goes into number 5 Alabama under a new head coach. He used to be the former Washington Husky coach. So, without Nick Saban, how does Alabama look? Fair? Are they still the same Alabama, or they're a little bit different Alabama?
Well, time will tell, in the words of Denzel Washington, but here's the mitigating factor here that's going to move the line of Mendoza, so to speak. The most games this man has ever lost in a regular season has been 3. So he knows what he's doing. He brought in a couple of players with him. He understands the nature of the game in between the hash marks, so to speak. He knows his game of football. He knows talent. Look what he did with the Huskies. Look at the players he had. Look where they're going to. Look what's becoming of them. It's not always on the field. It's off the field as well. I think he's going to have this under control, but I don't want the expectations to move the over-under to 9.5 to 10.5. Slow down, kids, in the words of Lee Corso, not so fast. They still have an issue in the red zone. They still have an issue facing the expectations when it's not such a high-name school. Look at South Florida last year. They almost won that game. It was 17-14 with 5 minutes left in that game. And compared to Alabama, and Nick Saban was there last year, think about that fact. So I don't want them to go in this game thinking the Hilltoppers are just a name to play with on EA Sports. But this is a real game. But still, coming to a program like Alabama, in the most losses this man has ever had in his collegiate career coaching, has been 3, and you're going to Bama? Okay. I can see this working. Again, the expectations, let's calm down. The expansion is giving everybody the ability to lose 2 games, maybe even 3, depending on your strength of schedule and who you are. Keep that in mind.
Yeah, can you hear me? Make sure you hear me, because I switched mics. So
okay, I can hear
you.
I
don't know. Let me find out which mic's playing real quick here. Hold on 1 second. Yeah, I just want to make sure. Okay, yeah. All right, good. I just want to make sure my big mic's on, so it took out some of the background noise.
He's got his big boy pants on. Big Mike in the building.
Yeah. Kalen DeBar era is finally shifting headlines here to Alabama. Nick Saban, the successor on the Crimson Tide, he led the defending Southeastern Conference champion Crimson Tide on the field on a Saturday night for the first time against Western Kentucky. So now it's Barber's first look here. So, on that said, for this occasion, Alabama can't take Western Kentucky lightly, because Western Kentucky is one of those teams that will come up and creep up on you because the style of play they play. They play a wide open, fast pace, slows down. They can play fast paced style. They can play a slow down style. But what kind of style does Western Kentucky have to deploy against Alabama's defense? Will it have to be an up-tempo style to try to keep them off balance? Or do we see a little bit of a slowdown and try to run the ball and run some clock against Alabama?
Why can't they just play football? Play the game as it should be played. Why do we hear the matchup of an upside on paper or by name recognition, we go to the obscure? Hey, let's throw some trick plays and let's start off with an onside kick. Let's go for every 4th down the first half. Why? If I was them, if I was the players, I would have taken it upon myself and talked to the team videographer and say, break down the game when App State moved the Richter scale, beating Michigan. Pull that up and let's watch that, guys. We're not watching Rudy. We're not watching the program. We're going to watch this. That's what I would do. It doesn't take trickery to win. He's got more to prove and more to lose than any other coach today, to me, with Bama. Everybody's basing off his experience in college, name recognition, what he did last year. But as we talked about earlier in the show, what have you done today and moving forward? The past can only teach you so much. But film work And game prep can do a whole lot for the mindset, especially with a name like Western Kentucky Hilltoppers going against the Alabama's and Crimson Tide. Huh?
Yeah.
It's
The
right there,
battle.
but it's right in front of you. You don't need no more as motivation. You don't need that. It's already there. When they scheduled this game, when you saw it on the schedule, when you knew coming in to meet before spring practice, you knew what the game preparation was for. Why do we make this so hard?
Now, my question is, how does Jalen Milroe perform under the new system, under the new coaching? Is it going to be the same style Alabama system, or does he going to implement his Washington Husky style offense into that play?
I think, like, he did adjustments while he was at Washington that a lot of people talked about once he got the job, the adjustments you have to make when you get a player that I want to run this type of offense with you, but we're missing this, we're missing that. I can take away from that and add something to it as well that you feel a little bit more comfortable doing. So I'm not going to say it's a big mix-up or a big switch-up in game plan or tutelage, but it comes down to the old given simplest form of communication. Break it down to its simplest form for the understanding and the teach-back factors right there on both sides. But I think coming out of a program and what he did at the quarterback position as a skill set and is moving forward, I think this could be a good thing and a good situation on both sides.
Yeah. There are some concerns with the tailback and Jam Miller and Justin Haynes. How do they figure into the game plan under the new head coach? I mean, he had some good running backs, not good running backs, but a little bit of a running game at Washington, but it was more lively on the quarterback position and Phoenix Jr. up there in Washington. So he's got better talent here that he did a part up in Washington at running back. How does he incorporate the running game into his system?
That's the thing with Bama when it comes to running the ball. When the quarterback is not doing well, the running backs have always been there to bail the quarterback out. You can look at this going back to past 15, 20 years of Alabama and their quarterbacks and their running backs. It's a tandem. It's the yin and the yang situation. If this not working, here we go. If this is working, let's get this thing rolling, and here we are. So they're going to do the swivel head type of thing, a Swiss Army knife style of football when it comes to the quarterback position and the running back position. But I think when it comes to the communication and breaking the game down to its simplest form with this type of matchup in week one, they made the game plan real simple. It's nothing very difficult. You don't have nothing to prove. You can play this game. You're already here at Alabama. And if you came in, look where you came from. So it's moving forward and believing in the program and the system that I put. In the first meeting that they had together as a group, that meeting they have right before spring practice, he got the message out then. So here it is. Now show me what you've learned. That's where they're at. I don't think it's going to be a problem with the running back position. The problem to me, I think Bama has always had, it's the matchup. It's in the red zone, and it's ill-advised penalties. Ill-advised penalties, meaning those big son bitches up front move when they're not supposed to move. And that is one of the biggest downfalls in Alabama history the past 25 years. Them fat fucks up front keep moving too much. Penalized team, and penalties move you back. Tick, 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 tick. Change the whole field position and dynamics of the game.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. But he did bring some people from Washington with him. He brought a transfer, Jermaine Bernard, and freshman Ryan Williams, on one of the nation's top prospects. Returning players like Kobe Princes and Kendrick Law could play bigger roles. But this is an interesting quote that DeBoer had. According to him, he said, we have 6 solid guys for sure, and there's a couple others that are pushing really hard too. So that's one quote from that. Now let's take the focus away from Alabama. Now let's go to the Hilltoppers a little bit. They are led by a quarterback, TJ Finley, who is now on his 4th college team. He stopped along the way newcomers as Western Kentucky But he also played at NC State, and he played New Mexico. He played at some other places. It doesn't list what other places, but let me see if I can bring his profile up. Let's see here. I'm sorry. He played at Rice. He played at Arkansas State, and he played at Coastal Carolina last year. So
well traveled. He's a journeyman.
Yeah. So, but in his career, he has 3,439 yards, 24 touchdowns, 8 interceptions. QRB rating is 62.3. So now he is here. He's from Ponchatoula, Louisiana. They got some weird names. But look at his height now. He's 6'7", 238 pounds. He's a junior, but he's got experience. So now, so the Hilltoppers got some experience at quarterback position for him. I'm sorry, I got to mix up. He was at LSU last year, so a couple years ago. So he's a former LSU Auburn quarterback who had a breakthrough season at Texas State in 2023. So he's played that team he's played with.
Okay.
So they also have he has targets from including transfer Keyshawn Johnson from Alabama State and Bryce Childress from New Mexico State. So he got some transfers in there. So they got some good mix up here with that. But does the Hilltopper have a chance to stay with Alabama and try to get into, when teams stay in the first and second quarter and then to the third quarter, that gives that confidence up. Can they stay with Alabama, or will Alabama try to blow them out? Will blow them out before halftime to take the confidence away?
I think when it comes to the SEC and historical point in sportsmanship and gamesmanship, that's not an Alabama nature to blow out a school like the Hilltoppers. Now, let's say something was said on the IG, okay? Somebody talking about somebody's mama, things of that nature. Got some beef from high school, got some beef from camp, whatever it may be. I don't see that happening no more, especially in today's time. What Bama program is trying to rebound from and become relevant again, not just in a household name with a catchy moniker or the former coach in all the commercials, all in the videos, all on TV. They want to get back to the winning culture of national championship. That's where they want to be at. And what says it better than getting a coach who took another football program to the national championship last year? And look at the players that he had on that team. And, of course, if I'm in that position and I'm going to a football program such as Bama, I'm bringing some people with me too. Pack your bags, boys. Let's go. It's easy as that. That's how this thing works. You cannot build a program by yourself. You bring some coaches with you and some players with you. I don't know. Nobody just, I'm going to go over here by myself. It's not going to work. It's not going to work at all.
So now let's make a pick here for this one. I got Alabama. Who you got?
I got Bama as well, but I don't see a huge blowout. I don't see them putting up 70 damn points. I don't see that at all. Respectable win. Make the coach feel good and the transfers say, okay, I like this program. Roll Tide. Okay.
Yeah, I understand that. That's true.
You feel a blowout?
I don't feel a blowout. I feel I'll put it this way. I say this for a big if. If the Western Kentucky Hilltoppers get to halftime down by 7 and don't get blown and don't have a let up in the third quarter, then I think they could play within Alabama. I think they could give Alabama a test.
Right.
But the confidence is going to be that first couple series in that first quarter. The hitting, if they can get on there and not get the first 3 and out. If they can move the ball and get some momentum that way, I see them doing that way. That's basically what I see. But it could go either way. Pitches one will Hilltoppers show up, and if they don't get scared with the big crowd, the big sellout crowd.
I don't think no teams out here today are scared of whoever they're playing against. Now, if you get blown out, there's a whole lot of factors that goes into that when you get blown out. I don't want to say just because everybody on the team knew and you're a new coach, but you still had 6 weeks to prepare. So I don't know. When people get blown out nowadays, I have questions. You don't want me being a reporter in there asking you questions. I'm going to follow you into the bathroom to get me some answers.
I understand that. That's true, too. So like I said, I got Alabama, but I got it a little bit out more. I think it'll be a 10, maybe a 21-point victory, maybe at the most.
Like
but
a
I can see it.
31-10 Bama?
Yeah, I can see it. I can see it a little bit closer in your way too. It all depends on the quarterback, TJ Finley for the Hilltoppers. If he can get that ball moving and not get so many 3-and-outs. The key to Alabama, you don't want to have a lot of 3-and-outs. You want to move the ball, get points. You got to get points. Almost half your possessions got to be points against Alabama. That's just my take on that. So let's move right along here. Furman and number 6, Ole Miss. Who you got?
Them Rebels, Ole Miss, good old Oxford, Mississippi. Yeah, buddy.
Yeah. UT Martin goes into number 18 to Kansas, Little Manhattan, they call it.
I like Manhattan, Kansas. Let me go with them. Let me go with Kansas.
And going with Kansas State on that one.
Yeah,
Central Arkansas and Arkansas State. Who you got?
Ooh, Arkansas State has had some good players over the past few seasons. Let me go with Arkansas State.
Going to Arkansas State also. Bethune-Cookman at South Florida in Tampa.
Bethune-Cookman. South FLA. I like the speed of South FLA. Give me South FLA.
I got South Florida on that. Thornton State. And they got some new colleges coming in here. State at Baylor. 9 o'clock. Who you got?
Thornton State against who?
Baylor.
I'll take Baylor.
Yeah, I'm taking Baylor.
Texas different.
All right, UNLV and Houston. Who you got?
Give me Unlove. UNLV.
Yo, you're taking UNLV. I'm gonna take Houston, so I'll give you UNLV. All right, we on number 44 game here of the day. Tennessee Tech at Middle Tennessee. That's 7 o'clock on ESPN Plus. Who you got?
I like Middle Tennessee.
Yeah, I'm taking that one also. On that one, Sam Houston goes into Rice at 7 p.m. on ESPN Plus. Who you got?
Give me Sam Houston. I think my buddy Joe
Houston.
Minden used to play quarterback.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Sam Houston too. Rice hasn't been up to par in the recent years. Nevada Wolfpack goes in to play Troy at 7 p.m. on ESPN Plus. Who you got? The men of Troy.
Get Troy.
You're going to take Troy. I'm going to take Nevada. I might regret it, but that's all right. North Alabama at Memphis. Who you got?
Memphis. It's Memphis.
You're taking the Memphis Tigers. I'm going to take Memphis Tigers also. All right, Idaho at number 3, Oregon, the new Big Ten member. First game as a Big Ten member. Yep. We're going to see how Oregon does in the Big Ten coming up this year. All right, next game we're going to break down is number 7, Notre Dame goes into number 20, Texas A&M at 7:30 on ABC without Jimbo Fisher. The new former Duke head coach is now the head coach of Texas A&M. His first game as an Aggies head coach, but makes a return, only missing the two years since he took over the Duke job. What is your opinion on Texas A&M and Notre Dame game that's going to happen today?
Let me get this straight. Jimbo Fisher left.
Yep.
And the problem was Texas A&M could not hold the lead.
Right.
They good offense. They put up big numbers offensively, but losing games because of the defense would fail them. Should they go out and get a defensive-minded coach?
Well,
are you telling me that would happen?
Yeah, I remember 2 years ago he was the defensive coordinator under Jimbo Fisher, and he left to go to Duke. So they brought him back. We saw how he did with Duke. Brought him back as a head coach. So now he's the head coach.
So this is very interesting. I wouldn't change a thing but my defense if I was A&M. If he kept the same offensive coordinators and quarterback coach, the people that move the ball offensively when it comes to coaches, bravo.
Now
Change
this is
that defense. I mean, they could be winning the game 27-3 with 5 minutes to go in the third quarter, and they would lose that game 31-27.
Now, this is the interesting part of this whole thing. College Station today, when Coach Mike Elko makes his debut at number 20 Texas A&M against number 7 Notre Dame. They familiar face. He played against Notre Dame in the ACC, so he knows what Notre Dame's done. The interesting factor is he did bring his quarterback over from Duke, Riley Leonard, that transferred to Notre Dame. Well, no, actually, sorry, he's playing against his former coach. Leonard Riley transferred to Notre Dame. So he did a Sam Hartman thing, going from ACC country to back into ACC to Notre Dame. Playing against his old coach.
Hey, animosity all across the board, from coaching to the players.
So now you picture this. You got this scenario for this game. The former Duke quarterback against a former Duke coach on different teams, different side now. So Elko knows Riley Leonard's weakness that he can use against him, but Leonard knows Elko's tendencies on defense.
Right.
So now this could be a chess match. Which one's going to win? Which one do you think is going to have a better knowledge of chessing this thing out?
I mean, the Golden Domers have been a disappointment either the first 2 weeks of the season or right after Halloween. They usually slip up right there. It's a consistent battle with the Golden Domers out there, and it's no knock against them. It's proven history. It's right there written in front of everything. Every time they start off 7-0, 8-0, here come November. Then they drop 2 in a row, and everybody mad at us. And that's what keeps happening. I want to see them get over the hump. I want Notre Dame to become relevant again. Not just selling merchandise, not just because of a movie that they lied about, none of that, but become relevant in the game of college football. That's what I want to see and hear from the Golden Domers nation out there. Stop telling me about the past, who's went there. What are we doing moving forward? Now, on the other side of this thing, it's intriguing to me what A&M was failing at. You know, most people try to rebuild a whole program. I don't see A&M rebuilding a whole program. They changed the coaching, which is kind of the same coaching philosophy that he was under when he was there with Jimbo. So all he has to do is tweak the defense if we're scoring at home, right, ladies and gentlemen? I would agree. Head nodding time, right? Yeah, okay. If they do that, we got a close game. And they both have had an issue closing out close games, coming out on top. And that's what you need in college football. You need them dubs. Who can do it? If this game is knotted up 20-20 going into the fourth quarter, who you got? I want to say I believe in the Golden Domers, but it's early in the year. I want to sit back and see what this coaching regime is going to do defensively with Texas A&M, but that's not fair to either side. So I'm going to take it week by week as players and coaches should do. Give me Notre Dame in this game. Give me the Golden Domers in an upset.
All right, well, we'll get to the pick 'em here in a minute. We got a little bit more I want to talk about.
Okay.
Talk about here. All right, I got some quotes here from both Leonard and Elko.
Uh-oh.
So, according to what Elko has said according to a release by ESPN, his quote was, "It's interesting and weird, not really something I wanted to do, but at the end of the day, it's part of the game. I have tremendous amount of respect for who he is, not just a player, but also a young man. I have respect for his family. I'll be 3 hours competing against each other and the rest of the year rooting for him." And he's talking about Leonard. Now, Leonard goes on the opposite end and says, this is what Leonard says, back to Elko's statement. "To be able to play against him is awesome. It's not just him. It's a lot of coaching staff from Duke, and it's a lot of people I'm close with. We're all tremendously competitive. The game means a lot to me. People say every game is the same, but this means a lot to me. I don't want to make it all about me versus Elko. So that's Leonard's statement, and that's Elko's statement. How
That
do you
sounds like
reflect on
Leonard.
that statement?
Sounds like Leonard is trying to say, I'm looking forward to showing my coaches, former coaches, and friends how much I've grown since I left that program. Let me add to what I've learned from that program onto what I learned since I've been away. Let me show you. That's what it sounds like to me. Let me show you how much my game and my mindset has changed since the last time you saw me play football as a teammate and as a kid that you coached. That's powerful. That's why I love college football. That right there. One day you're going to meet up with that person again. One day. What are you going to do?
Yeah, I look at that. I look at that situation too. Texas A&M quarterback Connor Wageman returns from foot injury. How does this foot injury return? How does he? Is his performance going to fail a little bit because he's worried about that foot to test it out and to make sure it's good, or will he just go about his business that he did a year before the foot injury of last year?
Well, as long as it's not plantar fasciitis, we're good. Or if there's nothing wrong with the bunions, he's good. Those two are negative. Moving forward should be good. But if they got that plantar fasciitis, woo, that's a different animal. That's worse than turf toe. Because you can't, there's really no, as the doctor said, there's really no treatment for it. All you need is rest.
Yeah.
That's the only remedy they have for that, rest. What athlete you know that has a foot injury wants to rest? I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait. Not many. Not many. So long as it's not that, I can see him being a contributor to the team today.
Now, Elko made another statement about his secondary, about his lead player, and Benjamin Morris. He's considered him as one of the best corners in the country. He has a big challenge today. It's challenging that we'll be ready for. He's talking about the wide receiver core of Notre Dame and how Notre Dame's coach Mark Freeman has spent time during camp trying to recreate the atmosphere of his team that we'll face on the road this season after the Fighting Irish struggle away from home at times last year. They are going into one of the best college venues, the 12th Man and College Station. How does he recreate that atmosphere in a practice, going over the loudspeakers to get his players acclimated to what they're going to be seeing and hearing at Texas A&M and Kyle Field?
This is what I'm tired of hearing about Notre Dame coach. How good he is for building men, preparing men for tomorrow, getting their mental health right, which are all important. I've yet to hear him coach yet. What has he done at Notre Dame since he got that job? What has he done at Notre Dame? But show a family portrait where all of them look exactly alike, shake hands, and start this mentoring program to help the collegiate athletes after playing college sports. That's all I keep hearing. What has he done coaching? Why did you hire him, Notre Dame? To coach and to win, get to the bowl, get the championship, become a household name again. I haven't seen that yet. I've yet to see him coach this team to a victory. Have you? Am I missing something?
Oh, I'm bringing up a profile on him.
Matter of fact, I would put him on the hot seat. With a program like that, with an endowment like that, you have one job. One job. You put Notre Dame in back-to-back 10-win seasons, big bowl games, playoff picture, etc., etc. They're coming through the door, left and right. You got to turn people away. But that is not happening. They're focusing on the wrong thing. I've yet to hear anybody, any media outlet, any program breakdown, even the Notre Dame Football Network, they don't talk about his coaching. They talk about everything he's done outside of football to help men. That's all I keep hearing. There's nothing wrong with that, but you didn't hire him for that.
Okay. Marcus Freeman's record at Notre Dame is 19-8. He has a winning percentage of 70.4. Freeman's the first 2 years pale in comparison to runner-up for several of the championship predecessors at Notre Dame. So they went all the way back to Lee at first two, Leahys. First 2 years went a combined 15-2 and 3 in 1941 and 42, including a home loss to unranked Georgia Tech in 2 years.
He's 19-8 in 3 years.
Yeah, in his tender in 1942, including a home loss to unranked Georgia Tech in his second year. That's who they're comparing him with right now. So,
I think the program could be better if they emphasize and focus on the game of football.
When's the last time? Is Notre Dame rather than Notre Dame is when Lou Holtz was there? Is the last time they've been a big time school?
Well, what's the guy that Tyrone Willingham had him there?
Yeah.
Charlie Weiss had him there, but he was selfish. He was arrogant asshole. Believed in his own philosophy. Didn't make sense to the football common sense mind, even at that time nature. And then you had O-line as Brian Kelly. Was that him that lied on his resume and got fired 2 days later? One of them coaches did that. And then you had, outside of football, they had problems at the school. And then they're trying their best to get back there. They're trying. Whether it's injuries to a star player, the rumor mill, the internet, catfishing people. The Notre Dame football program has lost the focus of getting back just on football when it comes to the football program. They're worried about everything else.
Yeah, then you got to look at this too. Another significant thing that I've seen in this thing besides Elko and Leonard, it's going to be the two significant transfer that Notre Dame receiver Chris Mitchell and Texas A&M defensive end Nick Sorton. Nick Sorton went. Mitchell joined the Fighting Irish after spending the last 4 years at Florida International, where he had a career high of 1,118 yards last year. Sorton is 6'4", 285 pounds defensive end who spent the last 2 seasons at Purdue, but was named second team preseason AP All-American. He lead the Big Ten and ranked 8th in the nation in 10 sacks in 23. He used to play at Texas A&M, but he left 2 years ago to go play at Purdue, which he produced some good numbers with 10 sacks in 2023.
Good numbers. I like it.
So, with that said, you said you got the Golden Domers. You think they're going to go in Kyle Field and upset Texas A&M today?
That'd be great for the football program. I think that's what they need. That not an upset victory, but just winning the game. If they can win this game, that'd do so much for the football program moving forward. To me.
Yeah. To me, when I say upset, it is because I'm picking number 20 Texas A&M winning at home against the number 7 Notre Dame. That's why I meant total upset there. I think it's going to be an upset victory on that end of the thing. So, and then we got no moment with that one, but yeah. So we got that here. So the next game I want to talk about is Fresno State at number 9 Michigan. There's a lot of things going on. This game is going to be on NBC at 7:30. There's a lot of things going on in Michigan. Harbaugh left to go to San Diego Chargers. We got a new head coach there. Now the NCAA's put some distinction on it, but now they're going to look at if they're going to vacate the championship they won last year. That's the big question there. So, everything that went on at Michigan last year, should you see the NCAA vacate that championship and erase Harbaugh from the record books at Michigan?
No, the NCAA has been embarrassed enough in the past 3 years. The latest have been the lawsuits on the conferences mixing up. The NCAA lost that big time. It was embarrassing. And then the actual storyline behind the Reggie Bush situation. Look, Michigan in college football, it's not a lie if you all believe it. We know what happened. All of that did not help Michigan win that football game. Washington had plenty of opportunities to win that game. Plenty of opportunities to win that game. When you lose a game, they always want to go to the weirdest spots nowadays. Well, this guy was at the game with glasses on and binoculars. You know how many spies at each and every game? There's a lot. But nobody wants to talk about that side of college football. We want to keep football where it's at, on the field. Will they vacate this championship? No. I don't see that at all. Look.
Yeah.
Everybody saw the proof in the pudding what was going to the Michigan program when they suspended Harbaugh for a cheeseburger. That's when you're nitpicking. That's what the young kids call it. They gaslighting. They were trying to gaslight a situation that wasn't even there. Nobody wants to talk really deep what's going on at Michigan when it comes to the wrongs and rights, because there's a lot going on in Michigan, but outside of football, but it's still the Michigan University that a lot of people don't want to talk about, but they should. Message, but we're going to keep it football here. I don't see them vacating this. Harbaugh's gone. The new coach is in. Let's move forward.
Yeah, it's a lot of things that went on because they were going to bring him back to this game to honor the championship game, but then he went and turned it down, saying that he didn't want to be a distraction to the program. And I think that's very admirable for Jim Harbaugh to do that. But Sharon Moore gained some experience last year in 2023 when he coached when Harbaugh was suspended.
Crying on TV.
Yeah, he went under. Sharon Moore went undefeated during those games and stuff like that. So how does Michigan look? Is Michigan look the same because he's kept every coaching staff on there, only minus what Harbaugh's gone. So, and this is what the Wolverines defensive tackle Mason Graham said. I think that makes it a lot easier for transition. He's been here for a lot of years. Everyone in the facility and the university is really comfortable with him being here and then taking over the reins. I feel like that's what everyone wanted. He's been great so far. So that's what that's a defensive tackle said. Do you agree with the defensive tackle saying that the continuity wise, noted Michigan might not miss a beat?
Familiarity and continuity doesn't equal W's. It doesn't get you bowl names. It doesn't get to the playoff picture. It doesn't get you in the championship conversation. Here's the headlines. If Michigan loses, it's going to be, guess it was a scam. Why did they delete 58 electronic devices? Why they get rid of so many cell phones, break cell phones in an unconventional way? If they win, well, it's a systematic thing. Good thing the coach stayed in the program. I could see it coming that way. But everybody must buy into the program across the board. New coach, new coordinator, transfer portal, starting quarterback, running back, receiver, defensive key player acquisition. All of that has to fit into the program no matter what. And we know what the bigger storyline is about Michigan. What really went on and what the NCAA should do and will they do, and will it make sense moving forward to this program, considering so many people are not there, i.e. the coach, Captain Comeback, Jim Harbaugh. So Coach Moore has a real easy job. I'm not talking about last year. That's over with. Let's go forward. Let's talk about the game. I'm here to talk about today's game. Coach Harbaugh, you can talk to him on Sundays.
Yeah, they're playing Fresno State Bulldogs, who is not a really easy out in the last few years. The Bulldogs finished last year in the top 25 twice during their tenure. Skipper Father Jim was a longtime NFL assistant, and he's not taking his team to a big house just to show up. So,
listen, Michigan can be beat on the biggest day, home opener, season opener. We've been here before. You can't be afraid to lose, and you can't ignore the matchup, no matter the name of the school or where they're from. You got to go out there and play the game of football. In between the hashes, let's go.
Now, another interesting thing on this end here is Mickey King, who threw for nearly 3,000 yards and 24 touchdowns, 10 interceptions in the last 11 starts last season, and a season opener with the Big Ten member Purdue. He threw for 366 yards with 4 scores and was picked off once. So he's played against a Big Ten team before, but this is a different team going into the big house, playing Michigan a little bit more of a so we're gonna see the successor of Alex Orji. Oh, his last name is spelled Orji, or Davis Warren to succeed JJ McCarthy. Potential they both may get snaps against Fresno, and one may emerge as a starter for next showdown at home with number 4 Texas coming in looming right after this ball game. So now you're getting a little intrigued. Is Michigan overlooking Fresno State to that Texas game? If they do that, Fresno State could sneak right in and upset that little debut for the coach. And more.
Michigan has had their collapses on defense at times too.
But I mean, Michigan's got to replace a lot of people up front. They got to replace 6 offensive linemen. They were in NFL camps this summer, opened up 5 jobs to protect the new quarterback and open holes for a running game featuring Donovan Edwards. The guard Gallo Ella Hyundai from Michigan said, "We don't need 5 guys to play. We need 10. We all have to be ready whenever our name is called because people are going to get hurt. That's how it is and goes the game of football." So he came out and said they need 10 instead of 5. Does Michigan have those people in place?
Yeah, they have the weapons. They have the weapons on standby if the package is not working for them or the motor's not going as fast as it needs to. They got the people that are ready to go ahead and next stand up, so to speak. It's the first game of the season. We'll see more rotations and more substitutions over these 5 days of the greatest 5 days in college football, and including week 0, with all the substitutions that we're seeing, because we're going to see what's out there. Who's ready? Who's ready for this speed? Who's ready to see the weakness in something out there? I need somebody to be ready. And I think a lot of teams are standing up and waiting on that opportunity. Nobody's sitting down anymore.
Yeah, they got a corner. Last name is Johnson. He wants to do more than just cover receiver and return punts. He's talking about returning kickoffs. He wants to be the next Heisman Trophy winner, Charles Woodson, that played at Michigan, the last person to do that. He said he's getting comfortable with it. So now you got a dangerous guy who can punt, who does punt return, now wants to do kickoff returns and be that multiple threat. Do you see that? You see that living up to the name of Charles Woodson? That's a lot of name to fill right there for Michigan.
I mean, if you're gonna set the stage high for yourself, someone to emulate your game after, or to make you play harder, do better. You know who you're looking at in the mirror, your vision board, the things that motivate you. There's nothing wrong with that, but make it make sense into the program you're with, and your team and your teammates as well as yourself. If you can do that, do your thing, young man. Do your thing. To be the big man on campus and put out the points and put on the show, that's a hell of a thing to do.
So we're getting to the time where we need to pick this game. Who you got?
Who are we talking about again? That was
Fresno State, Michigan. Number 9, Michigan.
Oh, give me Michigan.
Yeah, I'm gonna take Michigan on this one here.
I'm so used to seeing the graphics. Who we talking about?
Yeah, no, I got to work on them. It takes a while to build them, though. I mean, you got to put 16, 18 games up on the graphics. So, like I said, next week I'll have more time to do that. Alabama, A&M, and goes in to play Auburn. Who you got?
Give me Auburn.
I'm taking Auburn too here.
Yeah, Auburn.
This is an interesting matchup. UCLA goes into Hawaii. They're playing at the 808 area code here in the University of Hawaii. So, my friend, this game is at 7:30. This game will be played on a national television of CBS for this ball game.
I can't believe the coach at UCLA, Mr. Foster, did that press conference, letting everybody know where UCLA is located at. I don't know if it was planned that way. Was that a marketing scheme? Did the gummy hit too hard on him that morning? But it was very uncomfortable watching that. I thought the UCLA program was trying to come back to the days of Troy Aikman. when Mr. Chip Kelly got there, but it didn't go as planned at all. It went a whole different route, and now UCLA and this whole conference situation and just the way the football program is trying to be relevant again. That's a hard thing to do, man, when you have not been in a conversation of a particular sport that everybody talked about for damn near 6 years. Nobody talks about it anymore, and that was decades ago. That's a little embarrassing. It makes the whole school as one look at themselves as, what did we do wrong? But other sports programs, that school has been doing well. It's just when it gets to that damn football team. What is the problem at UCLA? Can Mr. Foster turn this around?
Now, Hawaii's got a game underneath their belt. They played in week 0. UCLA comes in when not playing the game yet. Does Hawaii knows what their tendencies they could do? Does this give an advantage for Hawaii since they know they played, they got the hit, they got the lather, they've been in front of the crowd, they've been in front of the home crowd against Delaware State. I know it was Delaware State, but this is a different animal. UCLA is joining the Big Ten. Now, does this give you a sense of confidence of Hawaii that you played the game, now you're getting UCLA on top of that?
They have a first-year coach who's a former great NFL player, alumni of UCLA, his first time coaching. That's a lot. That's a lot. You played the game at its highest level, but you were a running back. But now you're a head coach. I want it all to make sense. Hawaii is coming off a win against a team who didn't have time to prep due to bad travel planning. Excuse me. I'm going with Hawaii in this game, man.
You gonna go with Hawaii?
I'm going with the momentum of the 808.
Well, you're going with Hawaii in this one. I could pull for Hawaii, but I don't know what UCLA got. But I might go with you on that one. I might take the upset here with Hawaii.
I've never seen a coach before.
Yeah, the only reason is you have the unknowns for thing, but you got to watch out for UCLA. They do have one person, the wide receiver and stuff, and Michael Sturdivant, who has logged 25 consecutive games with at least one pass reception and was the only Bruin to have at least one catch in each game last season.
Okay.
But Hawaii's quarterback, Brendan Sage, is the quarterback accounted for 4 touchdowns, 2 through the air, 2 on the ground, 241 yards of total offense against Delaware State. So he's a dual quarterback, so that might give UCLA a little problem. Like I said, we don't understand what UCLA's got with this coach. We don't know if they're going to run the same kind of offense. Could be a different looking UCLA out there than what Chip Kelly had. Could be a little bit of a slower model of UCLA football since he is a running back. So you might see run first plays and trying to get the running game going, and his philosophy might be totally different from what Chip Kelly had in the years past for UCLA. But yeah, so we got that one here. So let's move right along. Aberdeen Christian at Texas Tech. Who you got?
Give me Texas Tech, the Red Raiders.
You like saying the Red Raiders?
Yes, I do.
You trying to be like Chris Berman?
The Red Raiders.
Red eyes. All righty, my friend. The team that we really don't want to. I got Texas A&M in that game too. The team we really don't want to talk about here on the show is Southern Mississippi. They're going into Kentucky. Let's talk about Kentucky. Let's talk about them a minute here. We're not going to have to mention anything about the other team, but I want to go with the Kentucky Wildcats. Where do you see Kentucky Wildcat looking at like this year?
That football program to me has grown just like Central Florida, Coastal Carolina. Who else can I throw in there? These football programs, they've been very consistent on what they've been doing beyond winning. They have a revolving door of talent coming in. Just as well as leaving, going to play on Sundays, they got talent coming in, ready to show that thing and get on that gridiron. I like that program. I like how far it has come. Not just the way they beat Florida, not just the way they've hung in games and lose by less than 3 points. It's just the confidence. It's those fans at Kroger Field. As a Florida fan, seeing the growth of this football program is impressive to see. It's like they took something away from Vandy. They took a little bit from LSU, and they put it in their football program. They're getting stronger and stronger each and every year, while those two programs right there seems to me are weakening themselves.
Yeah, that too. That's a little bit of an interesting thing that there too. But you got to look on the other hand for Kentucky. They did pick up a transfer out of Georgia University who Brock Vandergraff, who backed up Stetson Bennett and Carson Backlash in the past 3 seasons. Southern Miss defense nearly gave up 421 yards per game and ranked 109th out of 130 FBS. But third down defense, the Golden Eagles upside as an opponent's convert on just 38%. What do you look at Brock Vandergraff, who transferred out of Georgia, couldn't get us good on the field because of Stetson Bennett and Carlson back. Now gets his chance to play on the field at Kentucky. How you look at that interesting quarterback position right now for Kentucky?
I want to see his patience and his poise. Don't be in such a hurry to get out there and show your frustration because you sat behind a few players. You had to wait your turn. That's the process of this. Everyone has to wait their turn. Even the good ones that come right out of high school go straight to a starting position. When they get to the next level, there's going to be a waiting. There's going to be a line. So it happens at each and every point, but at the same time, coaches and your teammates are looking at your poise and your patience to see how you're handling this. We know what you can do by meetings and practice. Everybody hasn't seen you yet in your Saturday best. We know what you can do. We know you want to shine, but let the game come to you. Don't take it to the game, or it could end up being the L and you're being booed and memed about on social media, and you do not want that.
Yeah, and that too. That's another little interesting tidbit too. But this thing here I found was really interesting is Kentucky's junior defensive lineman Deion Walker and linebacker J.J. Weaver each had at least 7 sacks last season and anchored one of the deepest units under Mark Stoops had at Kentucky this year. This is the deepest defensive unit that he has ever had at Kentucky during his tenders. So with that said, do we see them play a run offense type style for Vandergraff to get used to playing? And how do you, because he wants to play defense more than he wants to have offense beating them. So they got the deepest unit in the defensive side. Does he change his game plan on the offensive side a little bit to match that defensive side that he's got?
No, I think it's the game plan to me is going on the matchup. I know the kids want to get out there, coach, let me get in here, let me do this. If it goes into the program and the game plan, yeah. But I just don't see this is not a Disney movie. This is not The Rock telling his story about playing football. This is really going on. Not too many times the coach will say, come here, go ahead, let's do that play you talked about yesterday in practice. Put that new kid in. No. Because that's where injuries happen. That's when insults of the game really affect the players that are wondering what the hell going on when it didn't work, and to your coaches that you didn't tell them what's going on. Nobody wants to be embarrassed on the field anymore, coaches or players. That's why I think, to get our key, the Penn State situation is going on. But just in this matchup here, I don't see it being too much off of the grid. Keeping a more structured game plan together. I can see that.
Now, this is a surprise tidbit that people might not know. Stoops begins his 12th season as the SEC longest tenured coaching following the January retirement of Nick Saban at Alabama.
Damn.
Would you ever figure somebody at Kentucky football will be the longest tenured coach in the SEC, even though Nick Saban retired, he was the longest, but now
with a name like Stoops, it's not shocking. And considering when he got there at that Kentucky program, they were the laughing stock after that Jared Lorenzen situation. They thought they had the game won, but you got to finish the game, son and team. It's not, you can't go no further. There's only upside When you get a household name as Stoops that wants to be the coach, okay, let's see what you got. He didn't show you what he's done. He didn't show you he's here for the long haul. So now watch as the doors open and the bag come, more talent come, upgrading the facility, television deals, more NIL money. It's broadening the whole game for everybody to come in and get some. When you stay at a school with a name like that, Stoops, is nothing gonna get better.
Yeah, I agree with you on that too. So I took Kentucky in this ball game.
Yeah, me too.
All right, we got Kentucky in that one. All right, Southern Illinois at BYU. Who you got?
Give me Steve Young's great-great-grandpappy, Brigham Young. Brigham and Young. Brigham Young.
Yeah, I'm taking Brigham Young too. I think this is Brigham Young's first game in the Big 12, I think. And he's then moved into the Big 12. All right, Georgia State at Georgia Tech. Who you got?
Give me Georgia Tech. I want to see how these technical people can do it. Show me what they're working with.
All right, Houston Christian at SMU. Who you got?
Get them Stains. SMU.
Taking SMU too. All right, Grambling at Louisiana.
Oh, give me Grambling.
I'm going to take Louisiana on this one. All right, Nichols at Louisiana Tech.
Give me La Tech.
Yeah, I'm going to take La Tech on that one. Texas A&M Commerce at San Diego State.
San Diego State. I got to turn my crock pot off. Hold on.
All right.
I hear it popping.
While he takes care of that, we'll talk a little bit here. This is interesting. True TV has now joined the network of college football. They are broadcasting the Texas A&M Commerce at San Diego State at 8:00. It's the first appearance of True TV and on college football. That's an interesting thing, seeing some of these networks like the CW and now True TV get into the college football world of sports. So there's going to be some interesting telecasts on that stuff. Why Dre has gone to take care of his crock pot issue of popping. I don't know what he's cooking. He might be cooking something good. I don't know. We need to ask him what he's cooking, man. We might have to drop by his house and see if we can get some of that good cooking that he's doing. So we'll get when he comes back. We'll talk about James Madison. We're going to take a quick commercial break. We'll be right back on the All Sports All Place Network. I am Ray Crews and Dre. We'll be right back after these.
All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. 365, we making a plays. We talking the game, get you through the days. We're high in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety, topics, living the same. All presentation, sports information. Hitting the airways, taking the nation. All sport, all plays. Like working your faces. Grace at the field, so tie the laces. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. Network. We on top of our game. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays.
Welcome back to the All Sports, All Plays. All Sports, All Plays college breakdown. Said that is a tongue twister. It's a very good tongue twister, but I got it down pat. Dre, it's back. Dre, what are you cooking in that crock pot? People want to know.
No, for one, I got my windows open in the kitchen and it rained a little bit. So that's the sound I was hearing. I was like, why is my crock pot making a noise? But no, I just got some shredded pork I'm making. That's all. Shredded pork.
You got house guests coming over.
Meat. I watch football all day, because we're not leaving the sports compound. Did I tell you I lost the TV and one of my TVs melted?
No. How did the TV melt? You blew it up?
No. One day I go turn on one of the TVs, it doesn't come on. So I'm like, okay, but I can still use it as an HDMI screen for my laptop. So it was 2,000 degrees here on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday last week. So I moved that TV in my bedroom. Tuesday I go in my bedroom, and the bottom middle of it is melted and pushed in. It was that hot. It was that hot Monday and Tuesday.
Wow.
But yeah.
I ain't know St. Louis getting that hot.
What? Oh my God. The devil's foot soldiers are here.
You still wonder.
The heat index 115. They talk about the Cardinals low turnout today at the Cardinals game. No shit. 115 degrees. You want me to cheer for a team? The average pitcher is 34 years old. Get out of here.
All right, James Madison Dukes will play the Charlotte 49ers in Charlotte at the Richardson Stadium there on the campus of the 49ers. James Madison had some good season going on. What do you see from James Madison this year? Did they continue success, or will they trend back down to where they were when they were coming into the full?
You know, James Madison and Florida State can have the same little beef. I don't hear nobody from James Madison talking any beef. Well, you left me out. I should have done this, should have done that. They knew they weren't ready for that action, that smoke. They knew. I still think the hype is there for them to do better as they want to move up and do better, be more of a, not just a trivia question. Is that Dolly Madison or James Madison? I think they really want to be known, hey, we got a football program as well. Charlotte 49ers, I still don't believe that stadium is still called Richardson. What? How is that still legal? But I'm going with James Madison this one. James Madison.
Let me see. Hold on. Make sure that it's still named that. Okay, let's see here. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, it's still named Jerry Richardson Stadium because he donated all the money for the stadium.
Wow. No kidding. I would too.
He has a capacity of the capacity stadium is 15,314 people can watch games there.
Oh shit, that's an old basketball arena outside. That's good. Okay. That's good for Charlotte community. It's real good.
I mean, they don't have a big following. I mean, the way the complex is built, they could come back in there and put a top row if they start getting big enough to do that. But
is it on the campus of UNC Charlotte?
Yeah.
Okay.
They just dropped the UNC and made it Charlotte University.
That's right. I keep forgetting that.
So, but yeah, it's 15,000. The stadium is set on Phillips Road in Charlotte, North Carolina. The stadium cost about $45 million, $58.9 million in 2023. The surface is AstroTurf root zone 3D3 blend. So,
okay.
All that means, but they did get approval of a $60 million expansion to it. So that's coming in the near future.
They build it in Charlotte.
So are you taking the 49ers?
Yes. No, I said James Madison.
You taking James Madison? I'm going to take James Madison too because I don't think Charlotte's ready yet.
No, that football program not there yet.
All right,
basketball
Lamar.
Soccer program is there yet.
Lamar at Texas State. Who you got?
I like the name Lamar, but give me Texas State.
Taking Texas State too. I don't know too much about Lamar. Except it was a really good name of one of my friends back home in high school. Southeast Missouri State at New Mexico State. Who you got?
Give me New Mexico State.
I'm going to take New Mexico State also. New Mexico at number 21, Arizona. Arizona is ranked number 21 in the nation. What do you see from this year Arizona team?
See, they're one of those weird teams as well, man. Their identity, I don't know what they're trying to do. Are they trying to win 7 games? Are they trying to recruit a big name player? Are they going after a household name coach? I don't know what the intentions are. It's like, what are your plans with my daughter? You know, it's like that. Where you meet my son at? I mean, tell me something about yourself. I'm there with this football team. I need to have a sit-down conversation with the whole program. What's going on with this program? Because it's sometimes the football program, you're like, hold on, that's Arizona, the Wildcats, that's them. And then other times you're like, they still got a football team.
Yeah,
so that's why I want to know. They can be that team to challenge a bigger matchup. They can be that team to lay down to an opponent you had no idea they were playing. So I didn't know the identity of Arizona.
yeah. Arizona Wildcats now moved into the Big 12. Jed Fish has now moved over from Arizona to Washington. Take over the Washington program. Brent Vernon turns in to be the new coach at Arizona. Arizona opens up his era on Saturday night at home against New Mexico. Brennan said it to his team. My message to the team is it's all about us. It's about our process and how we prepare. It's very, very simple. It's boring. He said it's boring and it's not sexy. I think that's something sometimes it gets lost. So he was 7 years at San Jose State. That's where he came from. So. So do you see Arizona going to the old style? He said it's going to be boring, not sexy. So that means he's not going to be that team that's going to be throwing the ball everywhere. It's going to be like more of a run first team and make it a boring type game.
That's the it thing now in dating. Everybody wants to be boring. Everybody wants to stay home. They don't want to go anywhere with Netflix and chill and eat some food. That's all they want to do now. Nobody wants to be exciting and adventurous anymore. So this could work with Arizona. This could work. Yeah. I'm intrigued to see.
Good thing for Arizona, they did keep their starting quarterback Noah Fafaya and wide receiver Telleroya McMillan, the two top wide receiver and the best in the quarterback. So they did keep the quarterback. Jed Fish did take some players with him, but two key players stayed. That's good for the Arizona Wildcats. The quarterback stayed. So, but if you look at this team, McMillan headlines what could be one of the nation's most explosive offense and the defense. Long and issue in Tucson took massive strides last season. Arizona has numerous playmakers back on the defense, including linebacker Jacoby Menu, who will be the Pac-12 leading tackler a year ago, and corner Traco Davis and safety Dalton Johnson and Gunnar Maldonado. The Wildcats ranks in Associated Press this year, first time since 2015. How long will they stay in the rankings?
After this week, they're probably out because what they're 21st now.
They're 20. Yeah, they're 21st right now.
Yeah, they'll probably be 25th Tuesday, even with the win. I don't see them moving up because look at the teams that are playing in front of them. A little bit more better matchup, so they can stay idle with the win. With the loss, they'd definitely be up out of there. I'm going to take a chance on Arizona. I'm going to take a chance on them.
This is an interesting thing. New Mexico is now coached by Bronco Mendenhall, who used to be at BYU. He had a good stint at BYU. Went to Virginia, had a pretty good time. Took Cavaliers 3 straight bowls. The Lobos got Mendenhall era off to a shaky start last week, blowing a 17-point lead in a 35-31 home loss against Montana State.
Is that former NFL player brother Rashad Mendenhall?
I don't know if it is or not.
Interesting.
But he was the head coach at BYU, and then left BYU to go to Virginia. So, that's something. He had a 17-point lead and blew it to a Montana State. So,
oh man, I can't see that. Then you lost me right there.
I'm taking Arizona there. You got Arizona too, right?
Yeah.
All right. The next game we're going to talk about here, and we got about 6 minutes, less than 6 minutes to go here on the show. Arizona State. Let's talk about them real quick. Arizona State, are they going to have a good season this year? We're our half owner of the All Sports All Place Network, and Jay Ness will be rooting for Arizona State. He'll be at the game today. He's the reporter for us at Arizona State. He has a press predict. Will he be happy today because they play in Wyoming? Will he leave the stadium happy today?
Cowboys against the Sun Devils. Is that
Yep.
what they're calling it? Huh. I like the cheerleaders at Arizona. Have a little connection there when I was in Hawaii. Will he be happy with his ASAP Sports credentials covering this game on behalf of Arizona State? Wyoming football game, they don't start off well. They're that middle of the road. It causes a kink in the wrench of the link out there. Winning a game they have no business winning, causing confusion out there in the rankings. But I'm gonna stick and say your co-owner, co-work pal, he should feel good today. I'm giving him a thumbs up for Arizona State to win today.
Well, you got Arizona State is looking to rebuild under second-year head coach Ken Dillingham, who used to be the offensive coordinator for Oregon. The Cowboys will be led by first-year coach Jay Swevel, who takes over for the retired Craig Bowl. Swevel has been the program's offensive coordinator since 2020, so that continuity is still there. He's just taking over the head coaching job position. But Arizona State plays his first game as a member of the Big 12, joining Arizona, Utah, and Colorado, and their move from the Pac-12 to the Sun Devil hopes to build some momentum under Dillingham after two straight 3-9 seasons. So it's his third year. So is that rebuilding still going on for Arizona State, or should they be taking off now?
I'm not giving you 3 years plus to rebuild nothing. If you coming in here from a quality school and your resume speaks wins for me or football experience, you get 2 years. So now is the time. Now is the time. So
Is he on the hot seat?
For sure. What is the hot seat objective here? To get to a bowl game? Yeah. Not a 6-win bowl game. No, we're not taking it. See, that's mediocre. That's the Mendoza line. See, now you mess with my emotions, Smokey. When I say get to a bowl game, I mean get me some double-digit wins out there.
All right, we got to speed this up a little bit here. We got a couple games we got to pick up on. We got a Sunday and Monday game to pick up and a Friday game. So let's get started here real quick. Weber State at Washington. Who you got?
Give me Washington.
I'm gonna take Washington too. This game's on Sunday. Number 23 USC versus at number 13 LSU. Who you got?
I want to see what all the hype about. Give me USC. I want to see what all the hype about.
I'm gonna take LSU because they're playing in Baton Rouge, Louisiana on that one.
Baton Rouge.
All right. Monday's matchup is Boston College at number 10 Florida State. Who you got?
Boston College.
He's taking Boston College. I think Florida State will bounce back in that game. So I got Florida State. And then let's go and pick the Friday's game here real quick for week 2, starting on Friday, September 6th. Western Illinois at Indiana. Who you got?
Me, Indiana.
He's taking Indiana. I'm going to take Indiana also. BYU at SMU. Who you got?
Give me BYU.
Taking BYU. I'm going to take SMU in this one. Duke at Northwestern. Who you got?
Give me Duke.
Taking Duke. I'm going to take Duke on this one too. So there you go. We have picked every single game that is going to be played today, Sunday, Monday, and week 2 on Friday. We'll be back for week 2 here on Saturday at 9 o'clock to 12. We got like 57 seconds. Dre, what's your last closing comments for today?
Hey, I tell you what, good luck to everybody, your college football team, your tailgating, your crew, your people. If you're at any of the games, party safe. Have a good, safe traveling Labor Day weekend. And don't forget, Monday, your boy back with Montez at midday. Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. 12 p.m. Central Standard Time. And Who's to Blame, the podcast. We return this Monday, all of it. Go to DreMontez.com for more information. Or follow me on social media, Dre Montez. There it is.
That's cool. That's good to know about all you knew about your podcast coming back. Who's to Blame podcast. So I've been watching some of your stuff on thing. I follow you on Facebook and stuff like that. So
Appreciate it.
I watch some of your stuff. So my last comment is for today is happy Labor Day. Keep safe. If you're going to drink and drive, don't drink and drive. Call your Uber or Lyft. They're more welcome to bring you home. So stay tuned. See y'all later. We out of here. Peace out. You have a good day, Dre.
Peace. Good luck, T.
Thanks. You too.
All right.
All sports, all plays. Yeah. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. 365, we making a plays. We talking the game, get you through the days. We're high in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety, topics, living the same. All presentation, sports information. Hitting the airways, taking the nation. All sport, all plays, like working your faces. Grace at the field, so tie the laces. All sports, all plays.